Hello and welcome to Disctv, the show that brings you the world of disc golf. I'm Brian Sullivan. This week we're in Peoria, Illinois for the United States Women's Disc Golf Championships. The best of the best have gathered from across the land, so who will be the next women's national champ? Stay tuned and find out. Disctv is on the air right now. Also this week, we'll talk disc golf with current women's world champion Des Redding. And if you've ever found yourself with a tough shot choice from behind a tree, Juliana Korver has some tips for getting out. It's all about disc golf. This is Disctv.
Good. Pause.
Disctv is brought to you in part by the Professional Disc Golf Association, guiding disc golf into the future. Irving's famous Chicago-style hot dogs. For red hot lovers, make it Irving's. Maceman Disc Golf Gear. Expect the best. And by DiscLife.com, the world leader in disc golf. Welcome to Peoria for Disctv's coverage of the 2002 United States Women's Disc Golf Championships. I'm Brian Sullivan. With me is this weekend's tournament director. He's Old Man Wallace. Old Man, as always, great to see you.
Well, thank you for being here. We're glad to have you back.
Thanks very much. First of all, let's talk about the format of the event.
We're giving them 5 rounds. They'll be playing on 4 different courses over 3 days. We have the 4 divisions that'll be vying for the 4 U.S. Women's Championships. We throw them a little bit of everything at them.
And we know you've got some beautiful courses here in Peoria, so tell me what kind of challenges the players are going to be facing out there on the course.
Bradley Park, we give them a little bit of everything with what we call an all-around course. It's fair for right-handers, left-handers, and everybody in between. Then we bring them out here to Washington, a fairly wide open, nice sunny day. Let them get a little sun, let them get a little warmed up, get them ready to go over to Northwoods Park in Morton. That course is quite a bit of elevation change, a lot of very technical shots through the woods, and then they'll go down on Sunday to McNaughton and Pekin, and we'll throw some more length at them down there, some more wooded shots, more open shots, and quite a bit of length, and see what they can come up with their best shots, maybe learn some new ones.
Now, Old Man, they don't call you Old Man without a reason. You've been around a long time, you've seen a lot, so based on what you've seen and what you know about these players, who have you got your eye on to win this weekend?
Well, right now Juliana has got several stroke lead over Des Redding, and they always have fun battling it out with each other. But they've got somebody waiting right behind them. We have Elaine King from Canada came down for this event, and she's not out of the hunt yet.
It's going to be a beautiful weekend of disc golf, and let's get you right to the action. It's Peoria. It's Women's Nationals, and it is all about the ladies. The format for this tournament, 5 rounds of 18, followed by a final 9 holes for the top 4 players in each division. Perfecto weather this weekend, sunny skies, temperatures in the mid-70s. No doubt about it, chicks dig it. We begin with the juniors, where 12-year-old Kelsey Brakel of Michigan was taking it to the house. With the gritty determination and unbreakable focus that only a 12-year-old can display, Brakel says, hey, I think I'll lay this one up. And there is your winner from the juniors division. Intermediate amateurs, Danielle Hock, one of the strong contingent representatives of the great state of Iowa. Round 2, 63, puts her 1 stroke off the lead. In the end, 4th place. Michigan's Diane Brakel also showed them what's what in round 2, matching Hock's 63. She would bust a move into 3rd place. Diane, stop me if you can, Starkey. All about consistency. The Illinois native played smart golf, earning 2nd place overall. And Tracy Lopez, huge round 3 for the up-and-comer from Iowa. She never looks back and slams dunked the competition in the intermediates. Moving up to the amateurs, advanced, that is. Karen Garlock from Michigan has a killer driving form, and her 2 under par round 2 would be the top score in the division all weekend. Hard work does pay off, and it is a 4th place finish for Garlock. Another Michigan amateur, this is Jana Tory, who shot steadily with a couple of rounds in the 50s. Add that up, and there is your 3rd place finisher in the advanced amateur division here at the U.S. Women's Disc Golf Championships in Peoria. Kathy Betcher is from Illinois, and you can bet your booty she came here to win. Now talk about consistency. 5 rounds on 4 very difficult courses. Betcher's scores never varied outside 59 to 61. And she don't need no stinking chains. Second place. Valerie Jenkins of Ohio, the former junior girls world champion, now 16 years old, and looking to put the hurt on these courses. She would succeed in excess. A fast start would add to her confidence, and Valerie Jenkins is the winner here in the advanced division. Open division. Now, if you're going to tangle with the pros, look out for Michigan's Sue Stevens. She's been touring full-time for 3 years, and experience in this game does go a long way. After a slow start, Stevens was 3 under par in rounds 2 and 3. She is headed to the final 9 on a putting game that says, oh yeah. 5-time women's world champion Elaine King of Ontario, Canada. The PhD scientist has a theory for winning at the U.S. Nationals: hit your putts. She did a good job of it this weekend, and with 9 holes to go, Elaine King is 3 over par. You know her, you love her. 4-time women's world champion Juliana Korver looking for a little payback after losing at Worlds this year. Now, Korver was off and running with a big lead through 3 rounds until a nasty case of the yips. Korver couldn't hit a putt inside 10 feet. She trails by 3 to the current world champ, Iowa's Des Redding. Redding was playing her own game and never let Korver get too far ahead. A big 5 under par round 2 would keep her in the hunt, and Redding's final 2 rounds would prove to be the best disc golf of the weekend, including a huge 1 under par round at the tough McNaughton course. Now, could this be the year that Des Redding makes a sweep of the 2 biggest women's disc golf events? Or will the typically dominating Korver come back in the end to overcome a 3-stroke deficit? This and many other pressing questions of our times will be answered. The women's final 9 is coming up. You are watching Disctv. Here again, I think this is going to work out just great. This is the part of the show when we ask a top pro to help us poor mortals improve our disc golf game. This week, we're real lucky to have 4-time women's world champion Juliana Korver. Juliana, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Brian.
Now, our lie, unfortunately for us, is right here.
Right, we're just into the rough on the right-hand side of the fairway. Now, I think when we stand behind the disc, we'll see that we're not able to throw a normal shot here. In front of me, all I see are the trees. Over here, more trees, underbrush. I can't throw my normal shot. I need to somehow get some distance between myself and everything over here on the right.
So, tell me, Juliana, maybe a couple of different ways which people might try to get out of this situation, and then show us what you recommend.
Okay, well, I guess if you're really lucky and you can throw a left-handed sidearm, that would be ideal. But I don't know anybody that's that good that they have both right and left shots on demand like that. There are a few people that can throw righty and lefty. You may see somebody trying to do a big straddle, kind of bring it across their body like this.
But at this point, we're 150 feet out, and that would be tough to get that distance.
That's absolutely out of the question for me. And I would guess you wouldn't see too many of the strong men throwing that way either. Really, all I see here, the only option I see is what we can call a turnaround shot, which means our back is actually going to be towards the basket the way that we want to throw.
So this isn't some crazy run-up 360 turnaround.
No.
You're talking about your back facing the target. Okay.
Right, exactly. We're going to plant our feet, and they're not going to move. Sometimes you'll see people throwing this shot with both feet on the line so that both feet are perpendicular to the basket. Mm-hmm. I do not recommend this. For one, as you're throwing, inevitably you're going to lift your heel, your back heel up.
Which is a football.
Exactly. I'm a full foot away from my mini at this point. So what I recommend is to put your back foot pointing directly away from your target. Now, as I stand here, well, first of all, I've got a lot more balance than the previous method. But also, as I stand here, my weight is on the back heel. So I'm not going to lift that heel up because that's my supporting point.
Ah, okay, I follow you.
Also, make sure you keep that down as you're throwing and don't come through and lift your entire foot off the ground either. Keep that
as
on the
your
ground
supporting point.
so that it's a legal throw. So, front foot facing straight out this way, perpendicular to my target. Back foot facing away from my target. Now my shoulders. I just want to plant this foot and forget about it. Now I want to imagine that I'm throwing a normal shot, any other up shot. The way I would do that is I would point my shoulders towards the basket. So I'm going to try to get my shoulders on that same line. Now my arm, normally your arm comes across your body. If we were doing a normal shot, my arm would be coming across the body this way. Mm-hmm. Well, here we're pretending that we're facing the basket this way. So our arm needs to come on a line that goes straight towards the basket.
Now, let me stop you here, Juliana, because when I see a lot of players trying to make this shot, they end up either well left or well right of where they intended. What's causing that?
A lot of times that's caused by a roundabout throw. If you're in this position and when you bring your arm back, if you cross that line, bring it back here, now if I go straight, I'm going to go way off to the left. If I realize that I've got to hold on to it longer, then who knows when you're supposed to let go.
Exactly.
So it's really important. You got to go on that line straight to the basket.
Okay. So where are we at here?
Well, we got our feet, we got shoulders, we got our arm. Another thing, it's really good to step out here and to look. I'll set the disc in the air. This is where I'm going to be releasing it. I set it there and I come back and I look just to see how much room I have, just to see what the line is actually, the line that I actually want to hit. If you're doing a normal upshot, you see this line. But back here, you don't see the line. So you should really come out, take a look. Oh, okay, well, I've got that slanted tree right here. I need to hang it out a little bit farther and hopefully have it come back in and slide under the basket.
So you're truly getting that mental picture well before you even take your final stance.
Exactly. Another thing to remember is keep the disc flat. When you're pulling it through on that line, try to keep that line as parallel to the ground as you can, as flat as possible. If you start getting the nose up, you're going to lose your accuracy, or if you yank it over, again, going to lose your accuracy. We're not trying to do anything fancy here, we're just trying to get it straight, advanced towards the target. Should I give it a try?
Yes, please. Nice. So that is the turnaround approach shot. Juliana, could you quickly recap the points you made?
Sure. Number one, see how far your arm comes out, come behind it, look at that line. It's a different perspective from here than it is when you're actually in that stance.
So check your line.
Number two, the stance. Put your left foot, your left heel directly behind the marker and point that foot away from the basket. Make sure you don't bring this foot up when you're throwing. Your right foot perpendicular to the basket. Number three, your shoulders. Turn them so that they're on that line to the basket. Number four, your arm. Bring it straight through. Again, stay on that line. You're not going to bring it across your body this way. You're pretending that you're standing right here like a normal upshot. Keep it straight on that line. And the last one is keep that disc flat.
And if you can master those points, you too can master the turnaround approach shot. And if you're looking for more tips from four-time women's world champion Juliana Korver, Juliana Korver's Keys to Winning Disc Golf. It's a new video coming out soon. And Juliana, when can we expect to see that in stores?
You can expect to see that by Christmas time.
And if people want more information on that or just more information about you in general, where can they go?
You can go to my website, and that's at innovadisc.com/Juliana.
And could you please show us the shot one more time?
Sure.
We are lucky enough to have with us today women's world champion Des Redding. Des, as always, it's great to see you.
You too, Brian.
So let's talk a little bit about, I mean, there's a lot to talk about, but let's begin with the basics. How did you get started in disc golf?
So let's see. I was introduced to the game in college. I went to the University of Northern Iowa, and they had a small little tourist park. They also have Exchange, and they have a couple others that are just budding around the area. Waterloo's like one of the oldest leagues sanctioned by the PDGA. I didn't really ever play besides with the big lids. A group of friends would come down, we'd throw them, dog got them, you know, no big deal kind of thing. And then I fell out of it after I graduated, and when I moved to the Quad Cities, which was in Iowa, who had no courses. And we just totally forgot about it. And then one day in Iowa City, we went to a kite shop, and someone turned us on to the disc golf directory. And it just kind of changed our lives. So about 4 years ago, we got that directory, and my husband and I, Jay Redding, would always travel around. And we'd always stop at parks and have picnics as we would travel and backpack. I was an avid backpacker, still am. Camping, canoeist, did all of that, then no disc golf. Found that, found the parks, and the rest kind of wrote itself. About 4 years ago is when I got started.
So then, let me see if I understand this. You actually got involved with disc golf when you found out how many courses there were.
Right,
Because you travel around.
I traveled around, and I would always stop at a course, and we would always just picnic, and we'd always just have a nice picnic at a park. And then sooner or later, we were able to look through the directory, find the park, and play a game all at the same time. And then we were hooked once again.
So what is it about the game that keeps you coming back? What do you really love about disc golf?
Well, gosh, there's so many things that I love about it. I think maybe the best aspect for me is the aesthetics of it, and the park settings that you get to play in, and then just the beautiful flight of a frisbee. You know, when you let it go and you watch it and it works, it's great. And then when even it goes bad, it makes you want to throw a better one. So it's kind of that endless wheel cycle that goes on and on. There's so many things. The beauty of the parks really draws me because I've always been a naturist. I've always, like I said, I backpack, I've built a cedar strip canoe. There's so many things that I do in the outdoors. That this fits nicely into a competitive edge, but I still get the nice freeing of just a walk in the park, the nature.
Now you said that you started 4 years ago, so within 4 years you went from a relatively new disc golfer to a world champion. Was that a goal of yours, or did it just happen? I mean, how did that happen?
It's steamrolled, there's no doubt about that. When I started playing, this was just kind of my personality, quirk, flaw, greatness, whatever you want to call it. I figure when I'm going to set out and do something, I'm going to set out and do it the best of my ability. And I guess the best of my ability led me to be a world champion. Pretty exciting.
Wow. Now, when you went into Worlds this year into Houston, did you have a goal for yourself?
I did. I wanted to be in the top 4. I wanted to make the videotape because it's really cool to make the videotape.
You clearly have done that
Yeah.
and much more. Now, and what was a critical turning point at the Worlds? When did you think, hey, I might actually have a shot at winning this?
Well, first round, let's see, we played the Lakeside course. It was a tighter course of all the ones that we played, and I actually went 7 strokes off the lead. I did not get out of the gates really good, and at the end of that round, normally in my game, I'd be kind of panicked, and for some reason I felt very calm, and I kind of just went, whoopsie, you know, kind of jitters. And I just kind of chalked it off at jitters, and I thought of it in perspective, and I thought, you know, I've got 8 rounds left. I just really need to make 2 strokes every round. And then I thought, all right, I'm in it, you know. And the next round it came out, and I was really calm, I was relaxed, and I swung back, and I took 5 off of the 7 within the first day. So then I found myself only 2 strokes off the lead. And that was a huge confidence booster for me. It was like I got over something that used to bother me and turned it to a better point for myself. And then I just kept accumulating strokes. And once I get strokes, I'm kind of greedy. You know, I make you earn them back for me. I really try not to give them away. And I play like that I'm aggressive on some things, but otherwise, you know, I'm going to make you try to take my strokes away. And that's how I played out the majority of the world.
You were in some pretty talented company. Did you ever feel intimidated by any of the other players?
I think really playing the 3 Super Tours beforehand with Michigan, Ohio, and Mad City helped me out tremendously. Because yes, I think Elaine King is awesome. Juliana she set the bar, she's electric. I got to play with Brigida at Mixed Worlds, and so that was a nice introduction to her after watching her in Minnesota. And the other women, Deb Renner, Andy Kreml was the first time I got to play with her. It's all outstanding. It's more so a little, you know, your idol. You know, you kind of sit there, and I would always read when I first started here and just go, man, this is great. All these women come out here and play, and they try, and it was just exciting for me to feel like I was up to that caliber.
Well, clearly you are well above that caliber, at least at this stage in your career. And let me ask you this. There's a lot of new players who are always looking for tips. If there's one piece of advice that you could give to quickly improve their game, what would it be?
Okay. Visualize your shots. When you're going out there and you mark that mini, and I've got a 120 approach shot, look at it, and you know it's a hyzer. Just don't step up there and throw my hyzer, whether you throw it with a putter, a rock, or a driver, whatever it looks like. Think, I want it to land near that leaf or near that shadow. Picture before you throw. It'll help you tremendously.
She is 2002 Women's World Champion Des Redding, and she's looking to become the national champion as well this weekend. And Des, congratulations on the World's win, and of course, good luck for the rest of the weekend.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Wilbur, you say the course is new, but these fairways look like, you know, they've been in for years.
The course just opened up the 1st of summer, June 1st as a matter of fact, but it's getting a lot of play.
It's really nice. It's time to take a closer look at one of the holes that the players are going to be shooting on this weekend. We're at Northwood Park in Peoria, Illinois, and we're on hole 2 with one of this weekend's tournament directors, Wilbur Wallace. Wilbur, tell me about this hole.
It's a good representation of the wooded holes that we have here. There's quite a few of them that are in the woods, very tight. We went through and just cut out the fairways as we needed it. The park let us do that, so we did use some existing trails, so that was cool. And then we've got some real nice holes out in an orchard, and then it's got like 2 of the best finishing holes I've ever seen.
Well, for this particular challenge here, we've got 198 feet. What's the preferred route, left, right?
Most people go with the hyzer route. It's a little wider off to the right side. You can sneak through real nice, though, if you got a nice straight shot with a little bit of anhyzer at the end, or lefties like that way.
And what do you like to do here?
Oh, I tried to just miss the trees. I go to the right.
Are you going to show me how it's done?
I hope so.
Okay. So what's your game plan here, Wilbur?
I'm just going to take something a little bit stable. We're just going to turn at the end. Basically, I'm just trying to throw it flat and let the disc do its work.
Okay, show me. Little tuck in there, and he's putting. Very nice.
Thank you.
All right, you've shown me the way. I got a stable mid-range disc here. I'm going to basically try to do the same thing, hopefully a little closer to the basket. And I have turned that one over. But a good kick. You know, it seems so many courses are going with at least a few elevated greens, and it's really something that it's hard to practice unless you're out on a course. I mean, I'm looking at this uphill shot here, but where do I get to practice this other than when I'm playing around?
That's right. Basket's above your head.
All right, here we go. Oh, there are some wild birds here. That's a couple of deuces in a row. Nice.
Thank you.
Wilbur, thanks for showing us around.
You're welcome.
It is Northwood Park in Peoria, Illinois, and there are a bunch of great disc golf parks right in this area, so it's a great idea to just take a weekend trip and come here. If people are looking for more information about the disc golf in the Peoria area here, Wilbur, where can they go?
Easiest way, just go to our website, pfcdiscgolf.org.
So come check out the disc golf in Peoria. Her confidence clearly playing a huge role today. Jenkins, thanks so much for your help this weekend.
Thank you.
And Disctv will be right back.